Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a framework that takes AI from feeling like this massive, overwhelming threat and turns it into a structured, huge opportunity for your future. I'm honestly so pumped to walk you through this because what we're looking at is a literal blueprint for navigating one of the fastest, most profound shifts in human history. So let's just get right into it. Look at the sheer velocity of change we're living through right now. To put this into perspective, the changes that happened globally over the last 30 years, they completely blew past the 70 years before that. And then the last 10 years blew past the previous 30. But when you look at the projection for where we're headed next, it's just staggering. The shifts we're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years will absolutely eclipse the previous 50 years combined. We're not just moving faster anymore, we are literally squashing half a century of technological and societal evolution into a single decade. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the pace of change, compare the internet age to the AI age, look at the decision instability gap, break down human decision infrastructure, explore the FutureYou ecosystem, and finally, wrap up with mastering your future. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the pace of change, specifically the VUCA environment. Welcome to the VUCA world. We are running headfirst into an environment defined by completely unprecedented volatility in how fast things change, uncertainty in what we can actually predict, complexity from all these different forces colliding, and pure ambiguity in how we even view reality. When the sheer magnitude of change is this fast, traditional, rigid planning, it just breaks down. Think about your own industry for a second. Can you really just memorize a textbook and expect to coast your way to success anymore? No way, absolutely not. We have to adapt. Moving right along to Section 2, the internet age versus the AI age. This is a massive shift. We're living through a massive paradigm shift right now that, honestly, nobody is really naming correctly. Think back to the internet age, roughly 1995 to 2015. We were dealing with total information abundance. Our biggest problem back then, getting distracted by cat videos or having like 100 tabs open at once. It created this fragmented cognition, what we call attention instability. But fast forward to the AI age from 2022 onward, and the core problem has completely flipped. AI brings massive execution power. It can suggest actions, draft complex plans, and execute tasks and literally actually know why it's doing something. And that creates severe decision instability. Our ability to execute is scaling way faster than our human governance. So we went from fighting for focus to fighting for control over the very decisions that shape our lives. That brings us to Section 3, the decision instability gap and accelerating execution. Just look at the massive discrepancy here. That AI growth curve on the left, it is scaling exponentially upward. Data, intelligence, automation, execution speed, they are all shooting straight through the roof. But human decision stability, that's remaining pretty flat. We still have to deal with pressure, varied interpretations, and, inconsistent or flawed human judgment. It's kind of like driving a car where someone suddenly swapped in an engine that's 10 times more powerful, but the steering wheel is just as loose and disconnected as it's always been. That massive, terrifying gap in the middle, that's the red risk zone. AI is accelerating our decisions, but without structural governance, that speed just amplifies our human inconsistencies and the potential for some pretty catastrophic errors. And the fallout of operating in that risk zone translates into some very real and very severe human challenges. Income instability hits a 10 out of 10. Skill obsolescence is right up there at a 9.5. And an identity crisis at 9 out of 10? That isn't just a scary statistic on a slide. It's that very real sinking feeling of doing everything right, getting the expensive degree, landing the traditional job, and still feeling totally unsure of your footing because the ground is literally shifting beneath you. Traditional education simply didn't prepare us for cognitive overload and trust erosion on this massive scale. So how do we fix this? Let's dive into Section 4, Human Decision Infrastructure. This is how we navigate the storm. Human Decision Infrastructure, or HDI, is this essential framework that combines intent, clarity, consistency, and trust to stabilize our decision-making conditions. Now, why is this so absolutely crucial right now? Because intelligence is no longer scarce. What's scarce now is authority and clarity. HDI is basically the structural anchor that ensures that while AI exponentially increases our raw capabilities and output, we as human beings actually retain absolute control over the outcomes and the consequences. Without this infrastructure, we're basically just passengers. With it, we're the pilots. As you can see, AI takes over processing speed and pattern recognition up at the top of the pyramid. Sure, it can draft a 50-page report or write complex code in seconds, but human decision infrastructure firmly roots us at the bottom. As individuals, HDI ensures we maintain authority, escalation design, and that vital refusal logic, which is basically just knowing exactly when to say no to an AI-generated output. AI generates the draft, right? But human infrastructure manages the real-world decision activation. Without the stability anchored at the base, high-velocity tech just ends up amplifying human fragility. Next up is Section 5, the FutureYou ecosystem. Let's talk about building practical infrastructure. Because here's the truth. Success in this new era won't just belong to people who know how to type clever prompts into a chatbot. It's going to belong to those who combine AI literacy with deep, unshakable self-clarity. And that is exactly where the FutureYou ecosystem comes into play. It's a youth-focused community that's explicitly designed to help early career learners move from having mere potential to engaging in active, structured participation. The whole shebang is about building that internal human infrastructure so you can actually harness AI responsibly instead of, being replaced by it. And how do we put this into practice? Through self-mastery audits. Instead of just guessing how you're performing in life, you actively review and score your core pillars on a scale from 1 to 10. You're moving away from abstract concepts and gathering actionable data about yourself. Like, you might be amazing at writing an AI prompt, but how's your emotional intelligence? What about your self-governance or your execution consistency? You get a visual radar of your actual human skill sets and habits. Basically, you stop guessing and you start tracking your genuine human capabilities. By keeping up with this month over month, you generate this visual performance map. You track your previous month directly against your current month, which gives you highly specific, actionable insights. In a world where the external environment is changing faster than ever before, having a personal, internal dashboard to visually track your growth and stability, that is an absolute superpower. It gives you the one thing the external world can't, a steady, reliable baseline of your own evolution. All right, let's bring it all home with Section 6, Mastering Your Future, the ultimate paradigm. Listen, if you take only one concept away from this entire explainer, let it be this. Clarity is the new career security. Back in the internet age, simply hoarding information or having a highly specialized degree, that was your security. But today, in an era where information is abundant and cheap, premium human qualities like deep judgment, high adaptability, consistency, and ultimate self-clarity are what will actually keep you employed, thriving, and leading the pack. AI cannot give you clarity of purpose. You have to forge that infrastructure yourself. And that journey culminates in becoming truly future-ready, which is represented by the AI Era Readiness Certificate. This proves that you haven't just memorized a bunch of facts to pass a standardized test. You've actually demonstrated durable human skills, like critical thinking and complex problem-solving, right alongside future skills, like AI awareness and continuous learning. It means you graduate from being merely educated, holding a piece of paper that might already be outdated, to becoming truly, deeply direction-ready. I want to leave you with this thought to chew on. There's a difference between using AI and knowing how to think in an age of AI. One is a shortcut. The other is a skill. Don't confuse the two. So ask yourself right now, are you just chasing the shortcuts of the AI age and letting the technology dictate your decisions? Or are you actively building the human decision infrastructure of your own mind to truly master it? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to start building your clarity today. Catch you next time.